Alright, I guess just make sure I got everything. I am missing one thing. Fancy dancy notepad. Alrighty, well, I guess I'll get started a little bit early here. Make sure everything's still as it needs to be. Alright, well, I don't know how many people are here, but I will get started. Nonetheless, first off, welcome to the first Dwarf Fortress Academy. Shout out for Dos Valdez for the semi-idea slash doing it for Kerbal Space Program first. Second, I haven't been playing for very long, so this is a way to help everybody get better. So if I don't know something, don't worry about it. I'll try and figure it out for the next one if I can, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this, to help me and other people who are in similar positions get better at Dwarf Fortress, as part of the reason why I think why people would be against playing Dwarf Fortress is because of the steep initial learning curve. So if I don't know it, that's alright. Hopefully someone in chat, if there are people in chat, will be able to help answer the questions. Second and third, everything will be uploaded onto YouTube hopefully after. So if you miss one, which hopefully I'm going to do these every Wednesday at the same time. So if you miss one, don't worry about it. It'll be uploaded on YouTube. The link is below. I guess last, there was an update actually today to Dwarf Fortress. So if it seems like I'm having trouble finding something, it is because something might have changed from how I'm used to playing it. So don't really worry about that. Anyways, I guess we'll get going right into things. If you have any questions, a good way to get me to notice them is to type question, to type @pistols4pandas, or to type pandas in my chat. It'll pop up in red and I'll be more likely to see them. And I'll be reading those out when I see them, or shortly around that time, to make sure that I have some points. I do have kind of a list of things I want to go through for today, so if I seem to be just doing that, don't worry about it. We'll get everything together as we things will work out as kind of a test to see how things work, see how people like it, etc. So I guess it's 7:30. So for this one, I'm going to do. You've heard of Dwarf Fortress. You don't know what to expect. I should actually make sure I'm running on the right. Yes, okay. Make sure I'm on the right page at the very least. Alright, so you've just heard of Dwarf Fortress, don't know what to do, don't know where to find it. If you see stuff blocking, hey Jaggy Castle, how's it going? So, new Dwarf Fortress, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. First thing you want to do, the reason at the top of my browser is I'm just lazy and it has my email and stuff there. So, first thing you want to do is, in my opinion, get yourself over to the Dwarf Fortress Reddit, reddit.com/r/Dwarf Fortress. It'll look something like this. This is today's. You want to download it? I would go down to here, one of these starter packs. I think I'm currently using this one, the Paradexis Errants Dwarf Fortress starter pack. You can click on that. I haven't followed this link in ages, but you will. Hopefully it leads us to somewhere good. Perfect. you'll get to here. So here, click get it here. It'll bring you to here, the file depot. And you just click download now. It'll download it as a zip file, and then you can, from there, just extract it. And within the extracted file, you will find a .exe. I've made a shortcut for mine. Whoa, switch sides of that. There we go. So I will have several things open on the side. I guess I should have mentioned at the beginning too, is the Dwarf Fortress wiki.org is also a fantastic place to find short tutorials, how to do things you don't quite know how things work. Pretty much you can type anything into the search bar. I haven't had it lead me astray once yet. Anyways, you open up click on your Lazy Noob pack and you'll get this. You open it up, this is what you'll get. This part in here. I'm going to run through a few of the options real quick. I've left pretty much everything default. There are a few new things as of today's update, as the graze coefficient is new, the strict pop cap and the pop cap have been increased base just by a little bit. I've left everything here. If you want no invaders, you can just click it and it'll toggle. No cave-ins, it'll toggle everything. If you want to make things easier, invaders and cave-ins. Cave-ins you won't really run into any issues with that. Invaders can, I guess, if you don't want to get invaded with your first couple setups, you may want to click this, but I'm not going to bother. And another thing that is wildly popular in the some of the getting started with Dwarf Fortress things is the aquifers. Now, they're underground water sources. Now this, you can click it off. You have to, if you want to make sure you have no aquifers, you're going to want to make sure that you click this before you change this before you end up generating your world. So I'm going to leave that on because I actually like I like the infinite water sources, and B, I don't really mind the challenge too much, even as a slightly newer player. So then there's the graphics tab. There's a bunch of customizations things. I think the default is Phobos. I haven't changed anything here. Utilities. Now there are a couple good utilities in here. I'm not going to get into Dwarf Therapist today, but it is a good one for changing managing your dwarves' jobs easier and what they do and what they are like to do. Announcement filter is actually one I haven't played with yet, but instead of having to go into the announcements section, you can just, instead of hitting A in the game, you can have a zone here, and there's ones that this one creates a Minecraft level. They do various things, not really. If you're just starting out in Dwarf Fortress, you don't really need to use any of them. It's better for a noob. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's useful, but for the scope I'm planning on going through tonight, there's Spooner 808. I am not really planning on getting far enough for it to really be useful. I didn't actually start with it. I still don't particularly use it, but yeah, you can use this if you want. Actually, I won't know if it'll actually open up. Will it run? I haven't actually done anything. This is the the therapist menu. I'll actually bring that up probably now that I've decided to do that. Advanced, again, I haven't done anything. I did take intro movie, I did change that to off, and I have changed, so this is the default is yes, turn that to no. And autosave, it defaults to no autosaved, but I've done it for seasonal, as I like it to automatically save sometimes, and I like putting this processor quality a bit higher. When you're ready to go, pretty much you've changed all of these things, which your settings, unfortunately your settings don't transfer across lazy new packs, but that's alright. You just click play Dwarf Fortress and then you get to this wonderful screen. So like I said, they did just update it, but I'm going to actually go ahead and create a new world. So this can take quite a bit of time, as welcome to the alpha of Dwarf Fortress. Yes, there may be instability, crashes, hangs, lags, yada yada. As of January 2015, you can get help at the fan-created dwarffortresswiki.org. I've definitely, if you're wanting to get, I hope the printing is big enough for you guys. If you're wanting help for the game, definitely it is a good place to go. Press escape to continue, sure. I'm not going to bother changing any of these things. Actually, when you're starting, I guess you could keep this as sparse. I'm actually going to change it up to frequent to keep it, make things a little bit easier if this is your first go. And you press Y, go. So this might take, this is what you're into when you get into Dwarf Fortress. You're going to see this. You're probably going to freak out a bit because you're like, what is going on? But bear with us, you will eventually, it will eventually finish. It does take quite a bit of time, or it can take quite a bit of time, as it is generating backstory, terrain, civilizations, their own civilizations, yours, a bunch of backstory, a bunch of history, different of its own fortresses. It's going through. It's most of the time you start at about 250, I think, is the medium backstory timer. So it has to automatically play through 250 years approximately of historical content, as you can see here. Whoa, where's my cursor? Here we go. It's not the cursor I'm used to. Here, Age of Myth. So they're in year 81. It has generated over 10,000 historical figures. It has killed off 3,200 of them, and it has calculated 50,000 events. So this game can get fairly intense on your processor, but that is okay. It is a fairly intense game. So back into doing, let it finish off. The nice thing about this is that it's not full screen. I prefer windowed mode. You can actually change that in the settings of your pack as well. I prefer windowed, though I'm not sure if full screen may give you an slight FPS advantage, but I'm not. As you can see, the graphics in this game aren't exactly what makes it hard on your computer. It is the processing power. Yeah, that's actually you do make a good point there, Spooner, that they should enable the Phobos font in the graphics setting. It is actually the if you can see in here, it is the. Did they actually change it? No, I've been playing for a little while. They just did update this screen doesn't have the font or the graphics changes. The tile sets only take place when you have embarked already. Yeah. You don't actually need to do anything. This is the newest version, which came out today. This tile set is always different than the every time I've gone this, or every time I've embarked, this tile set has been the base tile set for the world view, but as soon as you embark and go into your fortress viewer, it always changes to the other tile set. So it should, unless they've changed something with the most recent Lazy Noob pack, which came out like within the last 2.5, 3 hours, it would be the same, I would imagine. Unless, yeah, I don't think they've changed anything. Alright, they've gone through 150 years. You can see the landscape's changing. Yeah, I understand where you're... But this is... You don't actually need to... The default is the Phobos pack. So, you shouldn't actually need to change anything. Just let this run out. It will eventually... We'll eventually finish. It takes a little while to generate your location, or generate your world as a whole. Where would be a good spot to embark? Generally like... Whoa. Changed all of a sudden. I generally like coastal ones, because then you can get your guys fishing as well. If you want to do King Under the Mountain style, you can go beside a mountain, which can be good for getting minerals quicker too, actually. I usually go by a mountain and then just dig straight in. But you can just dig down, I guess, and just keep your farms up top. Let's generate another 71 years of backstory. So I'll finish off fairly quickly. The Dark Goblin Pits of the Cavern. If I click... No, it doesn't actually do anything. I haven't really played around on the screen overly much. Setting temperature... Oh yeah, it's doing the long part right now. It's doing all the... It's created the world. It's now just... forming the legends and forming the history on which your fortress will be placed into. Switch back to this one. So it should... There we go, we're getting close to being done now. Whoa. There we go, it changed, made it lighter again. The Dwarven Fortress, the Horn of Anvils, and everything is interestingly named. Anvils are popular. What were some of my other names for things? Their names of their military squads are interesting as well. Yeah, just wait for it to finish here. Should be done fairly soon. I would think it goes fairly quickly per year. Can't believe it's killed off 31,000 people. But did I? Yeah, I did start in year 250 before, so it should. It's got about 30 years left to recreate. I'm thinking. Probably want to embark perhaps somewhere around here. Maybe this looks like a river, so probably maybe around here might be good as well. You want river, or you want water for your farms. Somewhere around here might be good, but I'm thinking maybe more up in this region. And probably not here, but maybe around here-ish somewhere. We'll have to see exactly what's all included in the various areas. Get into that section. Alright, so it looks like it's pretty close to being done here. So we get ready to get into our embark stage. I'm not really sure what these, a little bit fuzzy, but that's okay. There we go. Fixes everything. There we go. So you're always the little X, and right now that little X is down here. So unless they've changed this wildly. So this is the world. Let's go, let's set up the plane of bites, the land of catching, the mark of breed. So it has a little description up here. So there's a human settlement there. There's a bunch of human settlements along that body of water. What happens if we go here? Fortuitous hill. So that'll be hilly, but it might not be bad. So let's go. Let's take a look. Let's see what that's got in store for us. I remember it being slightly different the last time I did this, but so this will also take a little bit of time as it is loading your sub-region. Oh right, yeah, I think I just went for it last time. Hopefully it doesn't crash, as I've never done this while I've streamed. So hopefully it doesn't crash on me. Be very nice. Looks like it might just have. Oh, nope, there we go. So it's like repopulating everything. Yeah, there's like nothing really you can do. It's just making sure everything's saved at the time that you set out at. There we go. No, that's my other one. What? This is region 2. So you wanna do Dwarf Fortress, and it'll load up the world. Probably should have ran through this once before I streamed it. So this is the time period you are being placed into. So we're going to be starting on the 15th of the granite. So the months are named after various resources. There's 28 days in each month. So this is your basic, this is kind of the fortress location screen. I guess it's not kind of the location screen. It is the location screen. I like making my okay, well, let's go. actually right in. So you press tab, and that's what changes this. So let's call them. Oh, these are what this is what the civilizations are around in the area, in the world view. So this is the elevation chart. So you click tab and you go through these elevation. So you probably want to be on low cliffs, medium cliffs, yellow. It's probably fine. So anywhere within this region actually will be okay. Fields, you can see what this is the one that I like to look at. You want kind of shallow, deep metals. It'll tell you if there's an aquifer, tell you what type of vegetation there is, tell you what people are around in there. So this one's got some soil, deep metals, shallow metals, flux, stone layer, some soil and clay. So lots of wilderness, but it doesn't really have much in the way of trees or vegetation, which I like to have on me. So I'm actually going to change. I'm going to make it a 4x3 local. Make my local area a little bit bigger. So your local area is up here, and this is what it tells you about in the local area. So this is heavily forested. It does have an aquifer on it. It's got thick vegetation. It's got a stream by it. The thing is, you want to be careful. Sand can be an impact on your mining as well as the aquifer region. So you want to make sure that you're if you don't want to have an aquifer, you probably want to move farther around. So this has right here actually nice serene surroundings. It's got a stream, it's got some sand, some soil, shallow metals, deep metals, and it's got some moderate vegetation. So let's go. I'll press enter, or you want to press E to embark, and we will get started here. Prepare your journey. Prepare your. Whoa, this is definitely new. So I guess you could do this. Plan out, prepare for the journey carefully. Easy start made for new players. I guess that's what we're targeting. Gorney's easy peasy start. I guess we'll just I haven't actually done that one. So you've got different people who are good at different things: masons, stone crafting, carpenting, wood cutting, stuff like that. So it comes predetermined. Sometimes you'll actually have your own points to do. So you can customize this. Usually want to have. Well, I like to have. I'm gonna say what I like to have. Yeah, they have preset embark profiles. Yeah, I could still edit them. I don't think I'm gonna worry about editing them here, as this is being targeted for the first time player. So I'll leave them as it is, just so if they want to play around with things as well, I'll have the same. Oh, there's lots of cats in it? Oh well. That's alright, we'll just go with it as it is. I made that mistake of not wound up with a bunch of cats. Oh. Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess. Embark. I think it was in the right screen. Where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. I think it's working. Oh, there we go. Awesome, it is not responding. That's fine, there we go. We have arrived. So, we've arrived after a journey from the mountain homes into the, wow, there should be a space there. I guess maybe not necessarily. Into the forwarding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7, so you start with 7 people, is made an outpost to the glory of all Rakustubal. There is almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You're expecting a supply cairn just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodgings ere the jaguars get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. I'm not even gonna bother trying to pronounce that. Heated handles strike the earth. So press escape. Brings you to this. I like to have it like this. Alright, so they changed some things around. I actually don't like that there. Like that. There we go. Press tab until that happens. So this is where the if the music's too loud, just let me know and I can always adjust the sound volumes too. Yeah, they just updated actually 2 solar eclipse. This is, at least for the LNP versions, this is 0.40.24, I think. These things seem a little bit, the graphics seem a little bit strange. The idler seems a little bit far off things, but that's okay. So this is base screen A, gets you 2 announcements, but nothing's happened. So let's see what it all starts off with. Miner, woodcutter, butcher, planter. They're getting their equipment. We start with lots of hens, a rooster, some ducks. Wow, I wish I would have done this with my last one. This was so much easier. So dogs. I have 2 cats, but I guess it doesn't say if they're male or female on the screen, but that's okay. Barn owl is nearby. You're so young. Nobody's died or anything yet. So we'll get them going. So basically, as I said, this is primarily focused on... Never played Dwarf Fortress before. What do you need to do? Well, digging in here is probably a good area to get oh, they've also taken off the FPS counter. That's alright. Digging in here is probably a good place to start. For mining, to have your underground cavern areas. So it'd be a good place to kind of get going, store everything, get some stockpiles going. You also want to gather up all of these. So before you do anything in Dwarf Fortress, basically the designations menu, or D, is the best place for you to start things down. So let's gather some plants, so hit P. And then you'll have this little X cursor, this little yellow one's going around in the middle of the screen here. And then you just select once, and then create, you basically want to create a box. So let's gather plants from this area. Alright, so they'll set off to gather those plants. Now I'm wanting to get them to start mining in. So D is mine, get them to go in here, and we'll see what happens. With that, I can actually build a well over there if I wanted to. So actually it's a lot better than my current embark is looking. So you want to also probably get some trees cut and going. I don't personally like using auto chop. I find it chops too much, so I just designate them in the same way I would designate anything else, so we'll chop those down. Stockpiles will be used in a bit. And then, so there's designations, and there's the build menu. Build menu gets you to this screen here up on the right hand side. And now it has a whole bunch of a variety of things. You can use the plus on your numpad to scroll through them, but basically if you want to build anything that builds more stuff, you gotta go to workshops, which is right there, which is also W. Again, comes up with a whack load of things. I'm actually gonna zoom out a little bit with the mouse wheel. I don't want to put the fishery there. Whoa, this is more mouse integration than I'm used to. I'm actually not going to build a fishery there. Okay, that's yeah, it's whatever. I'll get into the gender. Yeah, I know the priority designations. I forgot to set it to lower before I did those. The base was always 4. So build menu. Let's build a well. I think that's L. I think L is the well. Here we go. So we actually need. Actually, this is a good point. So to build a well, I need blocks and I need mechanisms. So to get blocks and mechanisms, you need to make them or build them yourselves. Hunter cancels return kill, could not find path. That's alright. So I am still digging in. Need to find some stone in which to be able to start it on that. I'm actually going to make a farm receptacle, or yeah, get started on my farm as well. That is in the P, is the farm plot. So I'm going to put it right beside the water, so it'll be nice and fertile ground. And I don't know why they use UM and KH as the farm plot things, but that's what they've chosen to do. I'll throw that right there. So that'll get made. I believe I do have at least a farmer. So this is where Dwarf Fortress actually comes in, or Dwarf Therapist. So you'll come up with a screen like this. I'll have to hit connect to Dwarf Fortress because it wasn't open. So you'll see all of your peoples, or all of your dwarves, what they're doing, if they have a current job or not. I have it grouped by profession right now, but you can group them by a whole bunch of different categories. You can search filter dwarves. So right now, it's actually okay for me right now. Wow, it's been ages since I've embarked. So I actually like building a oh, not a bed. I actually like building a carpenter's workshop as one of the first things I build. Actually, I will want to build this inside. As I find it allows you to get a lot of things that are very useful for your dwarves. Like you can build tables with it, you can build more barrels with it, which is also really useful. You can build various different wooden whatever you want. So this is the menu that I was talking about, or this is your basic. You should be chopping wood. It's alright. So this is the basic jobs menu, but you can also just change that from a Dwarf Therapist, which is not that one, which is this one. So let's say I want the hunter, let's say I want him to, what do I want him to get into? Let's actually make sure he's gelding. So it'll pop up with all your changes on the right side here. He's butchery, tanning, leatherworking, bone carving. Let's get him in doing some of this. Wood cutting. So if he already has it, it'll show up here saying that you're taking it away from him. Make sure he has that. And nobody else has wood cutting, eh? Give the hunter some wood cutting. Oh, it's alright. And then you commit. Alright. So that'll change that around a little bit. Yeah, and chain a rope and bucket, but you start with a chain of rope and a bucket as well. J Castle. Yeah, what you do start with some things that make it make things a little bit easier. W, and I want to build a Oh, it changed some of the heck's the carpenter's workshop. Here we go. See, so I like to build most of these things inside. This also helps you build doors and such things. So he's already, as you can see, he's cut down some trees. These are pre-cut trees. Probably want to avoid stockpiling if you can, at least for the start, as it can have a serious impact on your frames per second rate. Alright, so we have made a workshop. Let us make some wooden blocks. I'll make a couple wooden blocks. And I also needed mechanisms. I don't believe... Last time I checked, you couldn't make mechanisms. I believe. Yes, you can't make wooden mechanisms, so you need to make stone mechanisms. And for that you need a mechanics workshop. So you build W, mechanics workshop is T. So you place it right here. So you can build that to get your well going. A well is one of the things that I found out early on is very useful to have as fast as you can have it, as it allows you to be able to keep them from dying of thirst. I had some problems early on of my guys dying of thirst, which is problematic, but not terribly awful. So I'm going to get them to gather some more plants. I'm actually going to set, I'll set the priority as a 1. I just kind of highlight giant chunks. So it looks like we're going to get some barley going. It looks like there was some various other things. See if they can construct some rock mechanisms need. So here's a good announcement things. They'll pop up at the bottom in red, and you hit A, and it'll come up here. So this tells you what they've run into, what they've come across, what they need. So the one that just happened is I cannot construct because I need non-economic hard rock. As you can see, there's absolutely no rock in this area. So what I'm actually going to do is do designations, hit J for downstair. Put a downstair. I like to do a 2x2 downstair. Not particularly sure why, but that's just what I like doing. And I'm actually going to queue up a couple wooden chairs, a wooden door, and where's the table? And a couple tables, so they can have a place to nicely eat as well. I'm actually going to build a kitchen while I am at it as well, which is Z. Put the kitchen here so they have a place to eat, which is also important. And if you want to ever do anything with buildings, you want to set them, like for example when I was queuing things up here, you hit Q, which is the set building tasks or preferences. So you hit Q. When you're over the carpenter's workshop, it'll give you can hit A to add a new task. Mechanics workshop, you hit A to give it tasks, and it'll show you what they can all do. So fields shows you what you can plant. Unfortunately, I don't have any seeds as of yet. But that's actually okay. You don't need it. What the heck is this moving thing? Yeah, pond turtle. Cool. So we got turtles in the area. So the down ramp has been completed, so I'll go down a level, which is shift. This is the one I wish I had my keyboard visualizer. It's shift lesser than sign. This is one, and then under your downstairs, it actually took me. This is the hard part about me figuring out stairs. Under the downstairs, you need to put an upstairs, so that they have a place to be able to go down. Now, I also like to give a little area on the sides of stairs for them to be able to do things. To go back up, shift greater than sign. The amount of time that it took me to figure some of those things out was unreal. So this is all the things you can plant. I believe there's barley in the area, actually. Quinoa leaves, peas, cranberries. I believe there was barley. Red beans. So I'm actually gonna... They were set to gather some things, but they don't. And they did have gathered some things. They just haven't gathered everything. So they're actually mining very quickly because they don't have too much in the job way of other things to do. So right now they're just mining. You can click on things. They're mining into a loam wall. So this is plant matter, soil. They're just kind of digging through rock at this point. So now we'll go back up. So I still need to find rocks. Actually, I'm gonna get, before I go too much further, I'm gonna get into nobles and administrators. So hit the N key, this comes up. Now there's various positions you can give them. Expedition leader is by default used. There's militia commander, sheriff, hammer, manager, chief medical dwarf, broker, and a bookkeeper. Brokers are good for when trade caravans come in. You can use the broker to have a better idea of what they're trading you. What I want to talk about is the manager role. Now none of them have any relevant skills, but that's okay. You can become the manager. You do need to build them an office. Does nobody have cooking? Okay, back into dwarf therapist. Let's make sure that we have someone with cooking. Would be cooking. Our planter cooks. Okay, it's fine. Go back to the main screen. I don't have my chat up all the time. Yeah, I guess that should be mentioned. Thanks, Jay Castle, for mentioning that. Should be mentioned that digging loam, which is dirt, is faster than digging through stone as well. So you will dig through your stone slower, or at a slower rate. So this is all. So I'm just gonna keep going down until I hit some rock. Hopefully I don't encounter a so DJ, hopefully I don't encounter an aquifer section down there. That wouldn't be terribly useful. I know that there's barley nearby. And I know I should have some by now. But it doesn't seem to be. Why are they idle? That's fine. Alright, so designate up. I always like to make it a square. Sort of thing like that. Makes it a little bit easier to find if you're flipping through the various levels at a fast enough pace. I am so far off of this, it doesn't even matter anymore. So you have to make sure you unpause. When in doubt, just hit escape. It'll cause it to unpause. So what are we doing this time? Chert. Alright. Now I believe chert is a construct a couple mechanisms while we're at it. So it is raining. We do have a little bit of wood, but there's, as you can see, there's a lot of wood. Kaolinite, that works too. In the area there's alder, hayberry trees. This is actually a fairly good location to have gone into to start off with. So I struck Kaolinite as well. Make sure to unpause. So keep going down. So here we go. I found some kaolinite. So chert is brick by the looks of it. So I'm actually gonna go down. Whoops. Doesn't need down, which is J. I'm gonna go down one more level. Alright, the kitchen is done. Oops. Prepare an easy meal. I like to just get them preparing meals. It makes things going a little easier. Now, I'm going to use status. Go to my kitchen status. Go to my seeds. So I do have some seeds. Unfortunately, they're unable to let me plant them. So when I go to seed, I did build a door. Okay, I'll have to build a door over there. Here, it's still saying no seeds. I've actually had some problems that I've had problems with them not finding seeds for a little while, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna put a door right here. So I did build one, so that's just B and then D. We'll build you a door. So there, actually, this is a building as well. You can choose to remove it, but it's just your cart, so you don't really need to. I'll probably get a stockpile. Oh, there's some seeds that you can only plant below ground, are they? Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Good to know. Oh. Went up one level. What's my base level? 146. Okay. Good to know. That's why this is here, is to help. Oh, also seeds from above ground. Not sure if they are implemented yet. Okay, I didn't realize seeds had different. Well, I guess I will dig out an area over here. Dig that out for my designate up for my farm plot. I like making things like this. Gives them a bit of extra area to work on. Because I know, which is the ones that I was growing before. Oh wow, there are a whole different variety of plants in this one. So plum helmet, pigtails, cup, sweet pod. Okay, but I got them to harvest things from above ground, so I guess I naturally. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's where all my, that's where this whole area is. It's on that sort of dealio. Tetrahedrite, perfect. So I'll have a smelter for that later. I guess I will create my well. Build well. I'll put it right here. Bucket, cave spider silk, mechanisms, perfect. We're getting a well going. Yes, I will put my plot right here. Building it on loam cavern floor. It's sandy, but should be alright. Oh right, you have to actually do something. I keep forgetting that you have to do stuff with the plants. I'm so used to having everything already set up that so BW and the sill is what, L? There we go. I'll put it right beside my kitchen. So forget that you actually have to process the plants to be able to plant things. So you need to build what all does it? There's several things. A sill does it, and you can also get beverage out of those objects. A millstone and a cairn also do those as well. The cairn you can set up easily. The millstone takes a little bit more getting used to. But other than that, I'm actually going to set up yeah, brewing produces seeds, right. So I'm actually going to create a farm down here. No, not it doesn't. Build. What was the farm's P? Yes, and you need barrels too, but I can make barrels. I'm gonna make a farmer's workshop. Oh, of course I did that. I'm actually gonna remove this building. Yeah, you need I usually have a farmer's workshop beside. I don't like this at all. So I'll make an underground farm there, and then I will build a farmer's workshop right next to it, right there. And then I will build a bunch of barrels. I'm assuming the other one came with a bunch of barrels, so I'm assuming I don't need to make a ton of them. I'll make a couple to get started. So then I'm gonna go back to therapist and make sure somebody is brewing. This is a very important skill. My planter is brewing. Let's give it to one more person. This hunter is gonna be good at everything. Commit. All right. This hunter is gonna be my man-at-arms. Whenever it needs to. So here, go into the sill. So you want to hit extract from plants. I'm actually going to just put that on repeat for now. Get them to do it indefinitely. I do need to set up a manager's workshop. I will actually do that down here. I'm actually going. Yeah, I will actually finish off some of these things. Designate J downstairs. That's pretty much all really people will need to get themselves started on Dwarf Fortress. There isn't really too much more as of right now. Process plants. There we go. Yes, I'm aware the manager needs an office. I am going to be building him an office very soon. I have a table, I have a chair, and I have a table done already. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put it. I'll put it down here. Manager's office can go down here. Build chair. And I'll go right here. And then I have a table, which is T. Go right there. Preferably, I like making these things walled off, but I guess you don't really have to wall it off. So let them bring those down. So they need more plants, but that's fine. May actually be able to plant something now. Not here. Oh, there they go. The table is down already. Somebody will construct that soon. So then you go to Q. Use the Q. Everything pretty much you need is Q. Throne room or study. I'll just make that room smaller. Done. Assign the chair. It'll go to my manager. Now my manager has his office. He's ready to go. Carpenter also could actually use could make some beds. Now that I have a manager, actually, I'll do the manager thing. So hit J for jobs. Hit M for manager. It comes up with this screen. Now if you want something to just happen, just go here. Just click Q for new job order, and it'll bring up this, and now you can just type into here. So go wood bed. Actually, is it necessarily wood? Construct bed. Just type in bed, hit enter. Now I type in the quantity. Well, you have 7 to start. Make 10 beds. So that'll... Oh, they've changed the screen around too. So now that work order will go out to everywhere that requires or is able to do it, and it will build that many of them. So soon we will be able to... And you want to try and build your manager or your bedrooms kind of far away from your workshops, as they tend to produce a little bit of noise. That is okay. Alrighty, well I think I'm actually going to call it a stream here. Actually, 'cause I'm pretty tired. Sat in traffic for a long time today. That just kills you, but it's kind of how long I was planning on this for. So it's about an hour in length, and if you're just getting started in Dwarf Fortress, hopefully this is a good... Escape is also your best friend in this game. Just hit save game. Getting started in Dwarf Fortress, hopefully this is fairly useful. I'll probably look at it again later and see it was not terribly useful, but hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of what to continue with. I'll be continuing on with this next week, hopefully at the same time. Yeah, if you have any comments, you can drop it in the Reddit thread, which is on Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for helping out a little bit, and hopefully I'll see you next week.